Good evening, baseball fans. It is Wednesday. Yes, it is a Wednesday, March 19th. It's been another hot minute since we've recorded an episode. Again, that's my fault, not Tom's. Just suffice it to say that life is crazy and no one pays me for this. Unfortunately, some things have to go on the back burner. Anyhow, welcome to Bourbon and Baseball Astros edition. I am Suzy, that is Tom, and away we go. But first, the rated R warning, because if this is your first time here, maybe you don't know, but this is a rated R podcast for all of the 4-letter words and inappropriate adult humor things that will happen during this episode. So if for some reason cuss words and or sexual innuendos are not your jam, probably skedaddle on out of here because you're going to be offended. And I'm not going to apologize because I've just warned you. So there you go. Away we go. Tom, how are you?
I'm good. We've got tons to talk about. It's been a minute. We're sitting at 8 days till opening day. I guess less than 8 days if you want to get critical with the hours. I'm ready for baseball.
Sir, there were actual games played the last 2 days that counted for records.
I don't acknowledge those games because the Astros didn't play. Talk to me when the Astros are playing in a regular season sense. That's really cool what they're doing over there for that, but it's not for me. I'm damn sure not going to be up at 2 a.m. watching the shit. So if they wanted me to treat it like baseball, put it during baseball hours between like 6:05 and like midnight. Anything after that, I'm sorry.
Okay, to be fair, it was not 2 a.m. It was 5 a.m. And they can't play it since the games were played in Japan. If you guys don't know what we're talking about, we're talking about the Cubs versus the Dodgers in actual Japan, which is not here in the United States, across the world, different time zone, like 12 hours ahead or behind her. So I don't know how time works. Apparently they're in the future. I don't know. But really, it was 5 a.m. here, Central Standard Time, and it was 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock in Japan. And that's when the games have to happen in Japan in order for, I don't know, the entire stadium in Tokyo to be filled.
Play them some bitches at 3:05. Don't talk to me about that has to be at 7. They play every Astros postseason game at noon and 1 o'clock. I don't hear shit about they had to play at 7:05 in Japan. Sorry, not sorry.
That's okay. That's fair. I don't know if daytime baseball is a thing in Japan though. So
Major League Baseball is not a thing in Japan. We made it a thing.
I'm pretty sure if Shohei was all, hey, Rob Manfred, can we play these games at 3:05? Rob Manfred would be like, yes, absolutely. Anything you say, Shohei. Okay, so anyhow, there were actual games played today that counted for somebody's record, i.e. not the Astros, but other people. Shohei got me lots of points in my other league, FYI. Just need you to know that. Side note on that, last fantasy baseball season, I had the 12th pick. The 12th pick out of 13. And Shohei somehow fell to me at 12 last season.
It's called Tommy John. That's how.
You could only pick him up as a hitter or a pitcher. So obviously he wasn't a pitcher, so he could only be a hitter. But how? Anyhow, regardless, I had the first overall pick in another league. And I picked Shohei, obviously, because I'm not dumb. And I'm pretty sure that team that I picked Shohei first is going to hit 1 bajillion home runs this season. I have Shohei, I have Jordan, I have Pete Alonso, I have Brent Rooker, I have Mark Vientos, I have Evan Carter. So many home runs will be hit. Anyhow, speaking of home runs, someone hit a home run today. Tom, did you see the game, but we couldn't see the game because it wasn't televised. I heard the game, and then I watched the highlight afterwards. Did you see the highlight?
See, this is even furthers my point. The fact that I can't even watch my Astros play spring training ball means baseball's not real right now. When I can start watching them, then we can talk about it. Until MLB and whoever sacrifices a chicken to put the baseball on the TV like normal people, then we'll talk about it. Then the world would have seen the revelation that is Cam Smith, the prize jewel of the Kyle Tucker trade. Right now, you're only hearing about it from people that are down in Florida or all the Twitter people, the kid's an absolute stud. And I don't see a scenario where he doesn't make the opening day roster. I don't know what you tell him to go work on when he is just crushing baseballs and learning to play right field.
Yeah, so I don't understand how we didn't get apparently there was some sort of televised something or another, but it was just from the one angle and it didn't have all of the camera views. But then the clip of Cam Smith hitting the home run was from a totally different angle, and it looked a little bit more like a professional video. And so I don't understand why we couldn't get that view the entire game. But then again, I'm dumb when it comes to these type of things. So if somebody could answer me that, I would love that. That would be so delightful. But yes, we played the Mets today, and the Mets absolutely crushed us. And we only scored 2 runs off of a Cam Smith home run. And it was beautiful and majestic. And I'm simultaneously happy and sad all at the same time. Because the only way that this aircraft carrier was going to make the team is if he played right field. We all know who plays right field now, i.e. my favorite player, Chas McCormick. And that just makes me so sad because Chas McCormick's spring has not been delightful. His batting average is below the Mendoza line. However, his OBP, on base percentage, is skyrocketing because he has walked 11 times this spring, people. 11. I need you to know that's a thing that Chas McCormick has done. However, last season, apparently he was just crushing it in spring training. And then we all saw how the season ended up for him. So maybe it's just like the reverse now. But that's only true for Chas McCormick, though. It's not true for Jeremy Pena or Cam Smith. Okay, so that's basically how we're going to run it. If they have bad spring training numbers and I like them, it will turn around in the season. But if they're crushing it in spring training and they're a good player, i.e. Yordan Alvarez, they're going to turn it around. Jeremy Pena, I don't know where you fall. I'm hoping that whatever mechanics he has worked on will actually OPS behind Cam Smith. Jeremy Pena, you have a girlfriend now. Does this mean you're happy and you can do the things? Let's hope. Fingers crossed. Are we crossing our fingers and all of our toes and any other crossable body parts that we can cross for Jose Altuve?
No.
So
no, absolutely not. I don't understand what people thought this was going to be. Like, you had to think that these things were going to happen. Like, you had to feel like he was going to make mistakes that he would make at second base. If he boots the ball at second base, you're like, ugh, it's Jose Altuve. Now you're booting him in outfield, in left field, and you're like, we can't do that. We can't have that. Bro, this is Jose Altuve. You're sacrificing his defense for his offense. There are clubs all over Major League Baseball doing the exact same thing. Is Altuve going to make every play? Absolutely not. He did not make every play at second base. So you are going to be like, okay, that's going to happen, and I'm going to be okay with it because he's going to do all the things that the short king does with the bat and in the clubhouse and whatever.
Okay. See, going along with your point, Tom, Juan Soto is such an amazing guy, such a good friend to Altuve, that he also had to make a fielding error in right field, though, just to take the spotlight off of Jose Altuve and his 2 errors. But to be fair, Juan Soto has been playing right field a lot longer than Jose Altuve has. Again, if Juan Soto can be nominated as a Gold Glove right fielder, you bet your sweet bippy that our short king can somehow be nominated for left field. I need you to all know this, that hot take, Jose Altuve AL left field gold glove. Just that's
I won't go that far, but errors by guys that should be making routine plays all over. Aaron Judge in the postseason made probably one of the most horrible routine errors you could possibly make. And no one is out here burning the house down going, Aaron Judge can't play center field anymore. Aaron Judge can't play right field anymore. Now, I will say this. Altuve can't get much worse than this. We need one a week of these. We can't be doing this daily, but I got to believe, hey, this guy's been playing left field for what, 3 weeks? How about we give him a couple months before we're like going, okay, this is a failed experiment. Let's get him back to second base. Doobie, you are now the left fielder or whatever.
No, if that's the case, then Chas McCormick goes to left field.
I don't know why they've never really explored Chas and left. I feel like for him, it's probably a comfort thing, maybe. I don't know.
But Chas has played left, though. Last year, it was Chas, Jake, Tuck. Like, that was the outfield. Chas was always the left fielder, and then Jake was the center fielder, and Kyle Tucker was the right fielder.
Clearly, they didn't feel comfortable doing that because they moved Tuve to left field. His defense wasn't as bad at second as it is in left field currently. So they clearly were like, look, we need another bat. And however we can find another bat, that's how we're going to do it. Because I believe that this move was to get another bat.
So then, okay, then where do you play Isak?
Isak's your third baseman.
No, so in my brain, which you guys aren't privy to the crazy monkeys that are currently running the asylum in here, I was thinking, okay, instead of putting Cam Smith in right field, where, you know, he's played 4 Grapefruit League games and however many backfield games, put him at third. But then where do you put Isak? If you moved Isak to second, then you still have to have Jose Altuve in left, and I guess Chas back in right. Really, all of this would be solved if Jake Myers was not on the team. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen, though, because Jake Myers is the center fielder that apparently is going to cover all of the ground and help Jose Altuve position and let him know if the ball's in or if the ball's out or it's his ball or it's Jake's ball or whatever. Jake Myers is your center fielder. Not my center fielder, but
not mine either. Look, if the Astros feel so strongly about hitting over defense, Jake Myers is obviously not that. And everyone you talk to, the reason he's out there is because he is a Gold Glove center fielder. And I won't argue that he will make a play here or there. I will not. But I felt like Chas made those plays in center field. We agree on this.
yes.
I don't feel that he's a better center fielder than Chas McCormick. I think the numbers would bear that out. I think Chas plays a more aggressive center field and will take risks that I think Jake won't. And I think that impacts him negatively. If Chas didn't lay out for every ball, he'd probably have the metrics to back it up. He just only knows one way. And to me, I don't know what the fix is. I do believe that some person in the office thinks that Jake can be a hitter, that Jake can regain whatever form he had before he got injured. I just haven't seen it. And as much as people attack Chas, I think Chas is the better hitter.
If we're obviously, like I said, we are going off of spring training numbers, guys. Jake Myers in spring training has unfortunately been the better player in spring training. Current spring training. Overall, by no means is Jake the better hitter than Chas. Over the entirety of their careers, Chas McCormick had a career 117 OPS plus, meaning he is 17% better than your average baseball player, people. I understand last year sucked. Trust me, I am fully aware of how much last year sucked. But I don't think that last year is Chas McCormick. Jake overall in his career is an 86 OPS plus, people. That means he's not even an average bat. He is, what is math? 14% lower than an average bat? Bat? Not Matt. That's weird. Yeah, it's not. Unfortunately, Chaz is getting the short end of the stick here. I, again, am very sad about that because essentially Chaz has gotten the short end of the stick kind of all of the years. And it makes me very sad for him because I think he is a better player than Jake. So let's see. Jake's spring training numbers. In 13 games, he has 8 hits, 1 double, 2 home runs, 5 RBIs, 1 stolen base, 1 walk, which is a .267 batting average, an OBP of .290, a slug of .500, which is good for an OPS of .790. I don't want to look up Chas McCormick, but I'm going to.
I got him.
Oh, you got him. Okay.
Tom's
got him.
In 13 games, 39 plate appearances. So he's had a few more ABs than Jake. He has 4 hits, 1 double, 2 RBIs, 4 stolen bases, 10 walks, or to your point, 1 caught stealing.
11 walks today.
Okay, 11. I'm sorry. This is yesterday's numbers.
Yes.
He only has 4 strikeouts going into today, which I think is a big number. If you're going to take bases and not strike out, obviously you want the average to be up there too, but I think that's what he's sacrificing right now.
What's the batting average? I missed it. Sorry.
I didn't say it because I didn't want to. 148. The other number that I think is important too, mainly because it's so painful, he's grounded into 1 double play. I feel like Jake, he does that a lot. He's already grounded into 2 in 8 fewer plate appearances. I know it's a small sample size, but I really feel like at the plate they're the same too. We're talking if Jake goes 1 for 8 in the next 8 appearances, they could have the same numbers.
Yeah, I would agree with you on that. I'm just very sad. I'm just so very sad about Chaz. It hurts me like deeply that Chaz, I think, is going to get the short end of the stick. I think that Cam Smith makes the opening day roster, and I'm 73% sure that he is your starting right fielder on opening day.
It'll be really interesting because I think that's the argument against it, right? And people don't want to have this argument. They don't care. They're just like, I just want the best team right now. Don't care. But Cam Smith is 22 years old, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And the number 1 overall pick from the same draft is on the Kansas City Royals, and he's not starting the season with the club. He had a good spring, and they're just like, look, we're planning for his future. We're not rushing him. We're going to let him develop and beat up minor league pitching for a while.
Yeah, but Jack Haglion has a big hole in his swing.
I hear you. But he was the number 1 pick for a reason. The dude's a monster. I don't think that if he started opening day, he would struggle that much more than Cam might.
I don't know. I watched some of those at-bats, and some of those at-bats looked not as comfortable as the at-bats that Cam Smith has taken. And I know if you're listening to this, A, you're a fan of the Astros, or B, you think I have some sort of bias for the Astros. I do. However, I'm literally saying this as an actual observer of, does he look overmatched? Does he look uncomfortable? Does he look like he, for lack of a better word, is scared? And some of those at-bats that Jack Haglion was taking, it looked like he didn't know what was coming and he's just going to swing. And it didn't look great. Now, has Cam Smith struck out? Yes, he has. However, he has also drawn his walks. And some of those strikeouts I watched have been called third strikes when they shouldn't have been called third strikes. Take that with a grain of salt. And the argument against Cam has been that he's raked against minor league pitching and hasn't faced major league pitching. And today, the home run that he hit was off of AJ Minter, who has been in the league, the show, for 8 years and is a big league reliever. the other day when he hit, I think he went 2 for 4 or 2 for 4 with a double, I think. That was off of one of the Mets pitchers, Tyler McGill, who, is he an ace? No. Is he an MLB starter? Yes.
He's
So
probably what, they're 3, right?
with Montas down and Manaea down, yeah, I think I don't know. Maybe Peterson is their 3 and McGill's their 4. I don't know. We'll have to get our Mets friends on and talk about that because apparently Clay Holmes is their opening day starter.
They're excited about that. The guys that I've seen, they're actually really excited about Clay Holmes, and I'm excited about Clay Holmes too.
They are very excited. And again, in spring training, his numbers have looked great. The kick change that he has brought out, worked on, has looked great. But yeah, if you guys don't know who Clay Holmes is, or if that name sounds familiar to you, it is the Yankees closer from last season, was Yankees closer before Luke Weaver took over the job. But yeah, he was a reliever, a closer last season. He hasn't started a major league game since 2018. It'll be very interesting to see how it goes. The quote unquote pitching lab over there in Queens thinks that they've unlocked it, and maybe they have. We shall see. But yeah, that'll be really interesting to see. And, going back to Cam Smith and his ability to hit pitching, again, I think that he's not scared. He looks very comfortable up there. He doesn't look overmatched. He doesn't look like he is confused. And that makes me very happy, but also very sad. Again, Dan Brown, sir, you have cooked. Absolutely. Chef's kiss. Fucking cooked.
Just for reference, Jack Caglione, 22 plate appearances, 9 hits, 3 homers for a 529 batting average, a 1.872 OPS. So I don't know who he faced, but he's got 7 RBIs. He's hit 3 home runs.
Compared to Cam Smith's?
Yeah.
3 home runs?
No, I think today was 4.
4 home runs? Okay, well.
Just a higher OPS, a higher batting average. The kid's been good, is what I'm saying. And Kansas City's nowhere protecting him. And the Astros are in a different mindset, apparently, because they are giving him a good long look. And there's a lot of people that feel like Cam Smith will start the opening day roster. I understand the argument for starting him in Corpus, because confidence is a very fragile thing, and he goes 0 for 15, 0 for 21, whatever. Then you start to worry about him. Obviously, we did that once before. Bregman had a legendary start to his career in the wrong way, and then he figured it out, and Bregman became Bregman, and so on and so forth. But
how many games did you say for Caglione?
13 games, 22 plate appearances.
How many at-bats?
17. So less.
Okay. So Cam Smith in 12 games, 27 at-bats, has 7 runs, 11 hits, 1 triple, 4 home runs, 1 today. So what is that? 9 RBIs plus 2. That's 11. I know the maths. 11 RBIs, 5 walks. It says 7 strikeouts. I think he struck out once today. So 8 strikeouts. Batting average. So all of these do not include today's numbers. The batting average, OBP, and slug, and OPS that I'm about to tell you guys. Batting average of 407, an OBP of 500, a slug of 815, which is good for an OPS of a 1.315. Those are stupid numbers, y'all. That's dumb. I think Ari Alexander had the updated numbers from today. Let me see.
Yeah, I think there could be an argument that the club could make and say, okay, we're not ready to do this. Let's wait till June. That preserves a year of his eligibility. People will hate it. There'll be plenty of people on Twitter that'll be upset. And If the Astros struggle, then it'll look bad. And if the Astros play well, then they'll be like, oh, and we have this young stud that we can add. I don't know what's going to happen. It's going to be really hard for them to sit Cam down, but.
So he's hitting .414 this spring, and his OPS is a 1.371. Yeah, Cam Smith is delightful, just absolutely ridiculous. And another guy that we haven't really talked about, though, that is quietly putting together a pretty good spring training as well, is Zach DeZenzo.
Big Z.
And unfortunately got hit with a ball in his like cheek/jaw area, and his actual ailment is like a dislocated jaw, but it's not the side that he got hit on, it's the other side. I don't actually understand how that happens. If someone could explain that to me, that would be delightful. But apparently his numbers are stupid as well. This was from 3 days ago. He is hitting .371 with 2 doubles, 2 home runs, 6 RBIs, and a 1.005 OPS. What? Zach DeZenzo, you're also amazing. Also, I wasn't aware that Zach DeZenzo was as big as he is either. For some reason, I didn't put 2 and 2 together.
He is all of 6'5", 220.
That's
large human.
That is quite large. Let's see. Raises his spring training average to 389 after smoking a double. So that was a day ago. So yeah, Zach DeZenzo also putting together a really good spring training, but we can't carry him either. We can't carry them both.
It's true. Zach was working on left field early in the offseason. He played in San Juan to try to get some work there. So that's another option that they're looking at for the outfield if for some reason guys start to struggle.
Did you see that tweet by John Morosi talking about Bryce Matthews?
I did. I don't know what made him say that. Yeah, he's had a decent spring and he hasn't outshined anybody else.
So if you guys aren't aware, John Morosi tweeted today that infielder Bryce Matthews, the 2023 first-round pick from Nebraska, has impressed Astros officials during spring training, especially on the defensive side. I wouldn't be surprised if he debuts in the majors this year. And if you guys don't know what position Bryce Matthews plays, it's second base. So if you guys are also wondering, oh my God, Jose Altuve dropping balls in left field, why? Go back to second. It's because of Bryce Matthews, apparently. Add that to the list of reasons that Jose Altuve is making that jaunt out to left field. And the last time we recorded about Jose Altuve in left field on our last episode, Tom, we talked about how he seemed invigorated out there. He seemed a little bit more energized, and all of those statements have been proven true and been proven correct. And he, by everybody on that training staff, is saying that he is a kid in a candy store and he is reinvigorated. He's going to figure it out, people. He's going to figure it out. He's made a couple of really impressive catches that even Chandler Rome, noted Astros hater. No, I'm just kidding. Chandler is a little harsh on Astros.
So kind of you.
On Astros players on the Astros team from time to time. And even Chandler had nice things to say about some of the plays that our short king has made out there. My one worry about Altuve, though, and some of those plays and some of those catches that he hasn't made, is because of the walls. Obviously, he's a little bit more intrepid trying to make the catches going towards the wall. Maybe I'll get a lot of heat for this. Maybe I'll get a lot of, I don't know, maybe this is a bad take. I would rather Jose Altuve let that ball drop, though, as opposed to crashing into a wall and hurting himself. I don't know about y'all, but I don't want Jose Altuve trying to prove everybody wrong and make a point and crash into the frickin' like out of town scoreboard out there against the Crawford boxes. Like, I will, I don't know, sever a carotid if he is running full speed trying to make catches in not Minute Maid Park, Daikin Park, Daikin Stadium? What is it now?
Steichen Park.
Oh, because it's the DP. Meh. Okay. I will literally just jump off a building if Jose Altuve is trying to make catches in left field and crashes into the fucking out of town scoreboard and hurts himself, hurts a shoulder, hurts his foot, just like bubble wrap the Crawford boxes. That would be great.
I tend to think it's the other way around. I think where he struggles, the one play that I think you're referring to that he had an issue where he jumped straight up against the wall and misplayed it. Obviously, nobody got to see it because we can't watch fucking baseball in the spring anymore or ever. I don't know why.
Ever.
Yeah. On the replays or whatever, when you listen to people talk about it, the wind was really like swirling a little bit and pushing the ball out. So they didn't necessarily look at that play as badly as the last couple of them that he's had, where he's had to come in and judge the ball on his way in. And I think that's been more of a struggle, like trying to get behind the baseball. I think his time as a second baseman, like going out in the outfield to make a play, has probably helped him go back on baseballs, or trying to come in and play a ball out in front of him is probably what's going to be more difficult to me. But I think that's something he can clean up.
The two dropped balls from today, the setup for this was there was a runner on third. And both of these routine fly balls, I think he wanted to prove everybody wrong. He hears it. He hears that he's got a weak arm, blah, blah, blah. And I think that was in the back of his mind. And he just, for lack of a better term, like took his eye off the fucking ball for a hot second. And it just fell because he was worried about that runner on third. And I think, fuck it, Altuve, make the one out. Make the one out. Great, please and thank you. But I have faith in you, our tiny short king, Jose Altuve. Lots of faith that he's going to figure it out. And it has lit a fire under his ass. Another thing that happened today, apparently early, because I don't think it was supposed to happen until tomorrow, 3:20. But it happened early because apparently the internet kind of sucks and it got leaked a week ago anyways. But these actually look a lot better than the leaked things. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, our new City Connects debuted today. And there are a slew of teams that are getting new City Connects this season. And we are the first team to debut ours. And it looks plain, in my opinion. It is. That's out of a 10, I'd probably give it like a 6. I like them better than the Space City Connects. Tom is shaking his head. If you're not on the YouTubes, if you're audio only, Tom is shaking his head. He does not agree with me. That's okay. That is okay. But listen, I'm going to put them on the screen. So if you are audio only, either go check out any sort of social media. I'm sure you've seen it. It even made its way over to Facebook for all the olds.
While she does that, let me defend myself. I don't know what people that say that it's plain were looking for. And to me, we had a dark jersey before. They went light this time around. I think they did a really good job with the Astros lettering. I think that's 100 times better than Space City.
I agree with you there.
The star is a nod to the shooting star. It's got the tequila sunrise in the star.
It doesn't have enough of it.
Well, that's not for you to like.
Listen,
you can go buy a tequila sunrise jersey and get your fix that way.
We're talking about my opinion on the City Connects. And what I thought was, it's too white. It's very clean. Don't get me wrong. It's very clean. I like the nameplate. I like the Stros, that they actually adopted Stros and left off the A. Yes, there is the nod, quote unquote, to Tequila Sunrise. I just wanted more Tequila Sunrise. I wanted more I wanted more. That's all I have to say about that.
Every woman ever. I wanted more.
Sometimes we are okay with just a hint of things, but sometimes we do want more. Okay, I wanted more tequila sunrise.
Now, I think you get that if they wear the socks. I think the socks are absolutely that. It's for the guys that don't. If you saw some of the big guys, Jordan, Christian Walker, they wore the pants down. Yes, it is a little white, a little more white than I guess most people want. But Two-Face rocking the socks.
There's a pinstripe down the side, which I appreciate as well. You can't really see it in this picture that I'm showing on screen. If you were audio only, I apologize again. But it is a very nice uniform redesign. Yeah. Concept. I do like it better than the City Connect, the Space City, our original ones. I will say that. However, I know me, and at no point in time am I going to be wearing a white jersey, because I will 1000% immediately get something on it. Immediately. It doesn't matter if I am trying not to get, I'll immediately get something on it. Do you see this red hair? All of this red hair? This is another reason why I have to wear dark shirts, because all of this will turn things pink. Can you imagine if I spent on the cheap side, just, I have no idea how much these jerseys are, but $100. Can you imagine turning like the top of your fucking jersey pink because of this fucking hair? Another reason. So even if I had more tequila sunrise, that wouldn't stop me from the fact of
wouldn't be enough.
It wouldn't be enough. I'm just saying, I love the hats though. The hat is like my absolute favorite. The hat has 1000% gotten me on board. Like, the hat really completes the look. And some people are saying that it reminds them too much of the Diamondbacks A, which that's fine, because as we all know, Diamondbacks are my other favorite team, my favorite NL team. I don't love them as much as the Astros, Tom. Fucker. I like them a lot. Okay. There's only one number one in my heart, and it is the Astros. But the Diamondbacks are number two. And so the fact everyone's, oh my god, it runs. Fine. I don't care. At no point in time are you going to get the Astros colors and the Diamondbacks colors confused. Even if the Diamondbacks go back to their fucking throwbacks, which are teal and purple. Color alone, you should know. Fucking Houston Astros. On the belt loop, there is HTX, which I got mixed feelings about, because literally, I'm like, who the fuck calls it HTX? I call it HOU. So the HTX.
The young kids do.
The young kids? Oh, okay. Yeah. See, that's the problem. I'm not a young kid. And HTX just reminds me too much of ATX, which is Austin. Because anytime that's what I hear is that, or when I see that, it's just automatically Austin and not Houston. But that's fine. I don't mind that. I can be young and hip. No, I can't. No, I fucking can't. Me and my skinny jeans over here. I will die in these skinny jeans. But I like them. I need the hat immediately. So I need to bribe somebody to go to Union Station and buy me a hat and mail it to me, so that I don't have to fucking drive my happy ass down there.
See, I'm the other way. I like the hat. I don't love the hat. I love the jersey. To me, I saw a hat already that has the mission control badge thing on the side on the hat, and I'll probably buy that. Although somebody told me that it looks like Steak and Shake, and then I went and looked, and now I can't unsee it. And I saw it on Twitter already, and I feel horrible about it. And supposedly Wingstop, like the badge looks like Steak and Shake and Wingstop. And it's
that's funny. I don't eat at either one of those places, so I guess their logo to me is not easily recognizable, because at no point in time did I see that and was like, oh, that's Wingstop and Steak and Shake. So
let me see if I can share it.
But yeah, no, I love the piping on the ends of the sleeves, and I love the nameplate that it's like Stros. I love that. I love the star nod to, what is that, early 90s? Is that when that, because that star is like from the blue and gold era, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Is that the 90s? I don't know. That's way before baseball, Suzy. But yeah, I need this hat. Immediately. I'm going to close this out. So if you are audio only, again, go to the YouTubes and see this part. or go on to the socials and see what we're talking about. But
Can you
if you
see the
don't,
shake thing?
where are you?
It says I'm
Where are you?
sharing it.
I don't think you can share it. Are you trying to share it here? Oh, yes, you are. I'm dumb. Okay, here, look. Oh, okay. But really though, is it because the Bourbon and Baseball logo is the Steak and Shake? Like,
it doesn't have the wings. I think it's the wings that
is
does
it the wings that does it? Okay.
Yeah. I think Wingstop's the same way.
I don't know. If you're audio only, sorry, go to the YouTubes and watch this part.
See the wings?
Oh, okay.
But the Steak and Shake one's like really close.
Hey, you know what though? I don't like steak, but I love shakes. So if that's gonna remind you of that, then by all means. There's something else that we needed to talk about.
Oh, Kurt?
Oh, Stephen Okert has been balling. But yeah, let's talk about the bullpen.
We can just talk about pitching in general, the rotation. Okay. Obviously, I think what they did with Hunter going to is interesting. I thought it would have been Ronell, but it's Hunter.
In what world?
In what world? In a world where Ronell carried them through half a season before Hunter got right. I don't think Ronell did anything to not get the ball second. I think Hunter is the right choice. I'm trying to form the words. I'm trying to form a better response than what the fuck, Tom, and I can't because that's just all that's coming to my brain. So like, what the actual fuck? You really thought Ronell was going to be game 2? Yeah, I don't see why not. What you got? Here's my logic. You got a ground ball pitcher, and Hunter is a ground ball pitcher too.
No, not sort of, is.
Okay. But I feel like you could throw Ronell against the Mets and be okay.
Okay. No, I wasn't saying that you couldn't throw Ronell against the Mets. But if we're talking about...
I don't know, like, are we trying to balance the rotation out? Is it just make it top heavy? I don't know. I felt like Ronell wouldn't be a bad choice to follow Fromber, and then you go Hunter, and then Spencer, and then Hayden.
I don't know, because in my brain, it made sense that Hunter was the 2. And at no point in time did I think that Ronell was the 2 and usurped that from Hunter. I don't know. In my head, it went it went Fromber, Hunter, Ronell, Spencer, Hayden.
Okay.
Side note, did you notice that in the City Connect video, like promos, neither Jake nor Chaz were in it, and Spencer wasn't in it either? And I just found that weird.
You just can't put everybody in it.
I don't.
LMJ wasn't in it either.
Yeah, but LMG hadn't seen the fucking mound in 800.
Can't say that. He just did.
LMJ was too busy running a coffee empire. Okay,
he's one of the most expensive Astros on the roster.
Okay, but like Ronell was in it, and not it was weird to me. Okay, it was weird. I'm not trying to make conspiracy theories or whatever, and my tinfoil hat is on, but I just found it weird because I don't know. Like Christian Walker and Isak were in it, but I guess we want to shut them off because they're the new guys. But like Doobie's in it, like why? Stop it. If I have to watch Mauricio Dubon at second base every single day, I will also yeet myself off a bridge. Anyhow, let's go talk about the pitching. So Ronell's outing today. Spencer's outing, I don't think it was yesterday, the day before maybe. Ronell's outing today was hampered by a couple of errors, which got the pitch count up, which worked against him. I am not worried about Ronell. I'm not worried about Spencer, but I think what I'm thinking is going on in Spencer's head is, remember last season when we talked about Spencer and him wanting to strike the world out? And that was his mindset. Like he wants to strike everybody out. And we said, bruh, don't strike him out if it's going to take 13 pitches. And they fouled off 43. If you can throw something and get him to pop up, in 1 or 2, fucking do that. And towards the end of the season, when Spencer had figured that out, when he was going good, he was doing that. And I think this, in springtime, I think he forgot that. And I think he went out there with I'm going to strike the fucking world out. And that's what I'm going to do. And I feel like that's what got him in trouble this last game. Because he was trying to get that swing and miss. And I'm like, bro, just let him hit it. You've got the stuff. You've got a better defense behind you.
You know why he probably was that way? Because I believe Altuve made an error in his first game. And I understand why he's like that. I think that's going to be something that teams are probably going to try really hard to test Altuve all season long. And it's going to be frustrating for pitchers because they're going to see them try to go that way. And it's probably a mental game more than anything that they're going to have to like, look, I have to trust that he's going to be able to make the play and not try to do what you just said.
Yeah. So I've not pushed the panic button on anyone on this team yet. Let's just put it that way. I have full faith that Spencer will figure it out and will say to himself, okay, Spencer, stop it. Like, let's not run our pitch count up by trying to strike out the fucking world. And if we can get a pop-up here, or if we can induce a ground ball, let's fucking do it. There was something else that I wanted to talk about. Oh, we've not talked about, we touched on Jeremy Pena and how well he's been hitting the ball in spring, but we've not talked about something that was said by Dave Clark, first base coach, Dave Clark. Apparently, he has a bet with Jeremy Pena this season that Jeremy Pena is going to steal 50 bags this season. 50. Not 15, 50 this season. Or else he has to buy Dave Clark a car. And not like a toy car. Like an actual real car that an adult human can drive. Excuse me, what? In what world? In what world is Jeremy Pena going to steal 50 fucking bags?
I think he can.
You think he can steal 50?
Yeah.
That requires him to get on base a whole heck of a lot more.
No, I don't think so. I think the Astros were one of the fewest, like the least base stealing team in baseball. So I absolutely believe he can steal 50 bags.
Okay, but again, that requires Jeremy Pena to get on base in order to steal a bag. And unless
it's a big number,
he's magically figured out not to fucking pitch or to go after the low and away sliders, we'll see.
He had 20 last year, and I feel like he did not have the green light. Go whenever the spirit moves you. You know what I mean? I think this year they're going to be aggressive. They're going to run a lot. I think in the spring they've ran a lot. You've seen Chaz try to steal bags. You've seen a bunch of guys try to run a little bit. And if they're going to give Jeremy the go-ahead, then he could absolutely steal 50 bags. You're seeing guys steal 70 bags in a season now. It's not that number used to be like a joke. There was one dude that could do that. Now you're seeing multiple guys get up there as far as stolen bags. So I don't see any reason why Jeremy Pena can't do it.
He's projected for 15.
Yeah.
They're projecting him to steal 15 bags. And we're out here saying that he's going to steal 50. I'm not, but Dave Clark is.
He obviously knows something we don't. Apparently, he's got the wheels. He's got the speed to do it.
I hope that he does. Obviously, I hope he does because he has, 99th percentile sprint speed? Don't quote me on that, but it is very fucking high. If it's not 99, it's like 98. It's very fucking high.
For reference, last year, Ellie De La Cruz stole 67 bags. Year before that, Ronald Acuna stole 73 bags. That's in the National League. Last year In the American League, Jose Caballero for the Tampa Bay Rays. Who? Jose Caballero for the Tampa Bay Rays stole 44 bags. Year before that, Estuary Ruiz stole 67. So it absolutely can be done. None of those guys that I just named, obviously Ronald Acuna, but the other guys, they weren't like crushing the baseball. Ellie would go through streaks. Caballero, I don't think he's some kind of I'm on base every time. Let's see. He batted 227 and struck out 133 times. But if Jose Caballero with a 630 OPS and a 80 OPS plus can steal 44 bags, Jeremy Pena abso-fucking-lutely can steal 50.
Okay. Well, so do you think that at the end of the season, Jeremy Pena will have 50 bags stolen?
It's an expensive L if he doesn't. If they've talked about it, I believe Joe Espada is going to give him every opportunity to do it. I think in the past, you had boppers everywhere. You didn't want to squash an inning by running into an out. Now they may have to gamble a little bit towards the bottom of the lineup. We haven't even talked about what we think the lineup will look like, but I imagine at this point, he's probably 6, maybe 7. Who's behind him that's stopping him from running? Nobody.
Okay. Do you think he's going to bat 6th?
Tell me where you put him.
Didn't we talk about this last time?
We did, but that was before Cam Smith entered the equation.
Oh, that's true.
That changes everything. Where do you bat Cam Smith?
It's Cam.
You definitely don't bat him you don't bat him after Pena, Chaz, or Jake, right? So he's probably 6. Audio only people, if you could see Suzy's brain working right now. The stones are going together, the gears are coming together, and she's wait, what did you just say?
Hold on. Okay.
We're gonna with this.
We're gonna go through this. Listen, I've been doing math homework for the last 73 hours. Okay. So my brain hurts.
That sounds painful.
It's so very fucking painful. Okay. So Jose Altuve first, obviously. Isaac Paredes, 2. Yordan Alvarez, 3. Christian Walker, 4. Yainer Diaz, 5.
Those are locks. In some variation. I think you could flip-flop Yordan. And
I don't think I think Yordan I think Yordan's in 3.
That's fine. He could be. But they've dabbled with him at 2 a lot this spring, and they wanted to do it last year, and they didn't have the guys behind him. I don't know.
Okay, so now we have Jeremy Pena, Jake Myers, Cam Smith. Who the fuck am I missing? I'm missing a 9. I'm
you're missing Dubon, second base.
Fuck. No, I don't want Dubon on my everyday roster.
Okay.
Brendan Rodgers.
Okay, then Brendan Rodgers. There you go, Brendan Rodgers.
Okay, so then where does Brendan Rodgers 9? No, I see. This is the question.
Again, all of that does is firmly solidify if Cam Smith makes the roster and is playing right field, he's batting no lower than 6. So Jeremy's got to be 7, maybe 9, so you get the double leadoff thing.
Yeah, I'm putting Jeremy Pena in the 9 hole so that he can get on base, and hopefully Jose Altuve can, I don't know, ambush a fucking pitch. Or do they say, no, Jeremy Pena, we cannot bat you 9th because Jose Altuve is going to try and ambush a first pitch, and then you will just not have any opportunity to steal bases?
No, the guy that's probably going to bat 9th is if Chaz is in, it's Chaz. If Cam is in, it's Jake. One of those 2. Brendan Rodgers out-hit both of those guys this spring. Hell, fucking Guillorme out-hit those guys. And played good defense too. They're neck and neck. I want to say they were batting 3-something apiece.
Dude, both Luis Guillorme and Brendan Rodgers have made some amazing fucking plays defensively. Just could pick it. I was literally in shock.
And one of them's not going to make the club unless you find a roster spot by moving somebody. I don't know.
I don't think he can move anybody. We stopped talking about pitching.
Sorry.
The Squirrels.
Squirreling. What would you like to talk about pitching?
We talked about the rotation, but we didn't talk about the bullpen, and that's originally why we started talking about pitching. Was the bullpen? Is Forrest Whitley going to be on this fucking team?
He has to. He's had options, but he's looked really good in spring.
Have we seen him since the last time he was got sat down being hurt, or what the fuck?
Yeah, with a knee thing. No, but he can start on the injured list if he needs to. I don't necessarily think they're hurting for arms right now. They've had some really interesting, like we were talking about Okert. He's been really good. Obviously, you've got the back end solved. A lot of the guys that pitched well last year are coming back.
Okay, so obviously we have the 5. We have the starting 5. Josh Hader, 6. Brian Abreu, 7. Forrest Whitley, 8. Brian King, 9. Taylor Scott.
So you got a bunch of names.
So now that okay, so we're at 10 locks, pretty much, right? Okay, so that leaves Rafael Montero Jr.
I hope he doesn't make it.
That leaves Steven Okert. That leaves Caleb Ort, who I don't think we've seen pitch yet because he's been working through things.
He's hurt.
Sean Dubin. Does Sean Dubin have options left?
He's hurt. Says he will resume throwing Saturday. That was as of the 7th.
Okay, but does he have options left?
I don't know that. You would think as much as they moved him around, he would not.
Okay. Bennett Souza. Who am I missing?
Of the old guard?
Uh-huh.
That's really it.
Okay.
I think Nick Hernandez was a new ad, right?
I think, didn't Nick Hernandez get optioned, though? Like, yesterday or 2 days ago?
Yes.
Okay.
No.
Wait, yes or no? Or was the no to the I'm on crack? Okay. Okay. So Nick Hernandez got optioned, so he's not on here. Okay. So out of those 5, like Steven Okert, Caleb Ort, Rafael Montero Jr.,
Sean
Dubin.
Forrest Whitley.
No. You're
counting Forrest. Okay.
I already put Forrest on the 10 list.
Bennett Souza.
There we go. So out of those 5,
you need 3.
Are we carrying 13 pitchers?
Don't they carry 13 and 13 normally? 26?
Who goes? Okay, so then when LMJ comes, we haven't even touched LMJ.
Oh, that's a whole nother loaded question because it's not just LMJ, it's Luis Garcia, and then beyond that, it's what's his name? The Stash. Isn't he coming back at some point?
Oh, JP France. Okay. We're not even there yet. We're not talking about Javi. We're not talking about JP France. We're not talking about Luis Garcia yet. When LMJ comes back, though, who does he take? Or do we just...
I imagine they go to a 6-man rotation if he's going to start like he says he wants to. And then you probably lose a guy like Bennett Souza. Or Rafael Montero Jr.
So then does Hayden go to be the long man then? Does Hayden Wesneski turn into the Taylor Scott of last season?
Maybe. He's young enough. I think that would be okay. He's done it. But they make it sound like they want him to be in the rotation and they want to go to a 6-man when it becomes an opportunity.
Okay. All right. So then, okay, we already had the 10. So out of the 3, so what is that? Maybe Sean Dubin? No. Caleb Ort? And Steven Okert then? Are those the 3? So then out of those 3, when LMJ comes back, which one do you lose?
Did you include Rafael Montero Jr.?
I did not.
Is that math then?
You're asking the Asian that doesn't fucking math, Tom. I don't know.
You've been doing 73 hours of math. I'm just checking. Okay, so we have the 5, right? Hader, Abreu, Scott. That's 8. So then Forrest is
Rafael
9.
Montero was not in the 10. I know that for a fact. Rafael Montero was not in the 10 that we had.
King was the 10th?
I had King in the 10.
Okay. So then of the rest, you have Ort, you have Rafael Montero Jr., Okert, Souza, Dubin.
That's 5.
Yes.
Okay, so out of those 5, we have 3 slots left, correct?
Correct.
That's the math? Okay. So then out of those 5, which 3 do you take?
Okert was absolutely untouchable in spring the entire way. I don't know how you don't take him. I assume they'll take Montero Jr. just because they're paying him $11 million. I assume that. I would be totally happy with this being the end of his contract to cut him and move on. You have suffered all you needed to suffer, and it's time to let him do something else. But I would think it would be Okert, Montero Jr., and if Dubin's healthy, it's probably Dubin. If he's not, then it's probably Souza. And then when one of those guys, he was part of the 10.
No, he wasn't.
Then he's the last guy then. It's a lot of pitching. Everybody complains about not having enough pitching. We can't even figure out who the hell's going to stay. For all those people worried, do the Astros have enough pitching? The answer is absolutely. Because
no, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't fucking jinx it. Don't jinx it. Don't jinx it, Tom. Don't jinx it.
That's not jinxing it to say they have a lot of arms. They do.
You're going to jinx it, Tom.
There were guys that pitched really good that are going to start in the minors that I think they're going to be on the short list to come up. Ryan Gusto pitched good. He was in the Futures game, right?
AJ Blue Balls.
AJ Blue Balls. Suzy cannot wait to have to talk about blue balls in a show legitimately.
And his number is 69. I cannot with him.
He was perfect. Chef's kiss.
He's a man after my own heart.
I think CJ is going to be back at some point this year. Then what?
I don't know. But you know what? We need all the pitching that we can fucking get because
you get CJ back at the All-Star break. That's nuts.
You can never have enough pitching.
Never.
My mind is broken. I'm still trying to figure out the fucking relief pitchers. We have a plethora of lefties. Dusty Baker
on a team that used to not have any.
Dusty Baker is losing his fucking mind right now.
No, couldn't buy one.
Phil Maton got signed with the Cardinals.
Good for him. Jose Urquidy's a Tiger.
Fits right in. Okay. So we talked about the City Connects. We didn't even talk about LMJ. LMJ made his spring debut through one inning. And that was the game that LMJ started and Spencer Arrighetti piggybacked. Maybe that's how.
Probably.
Maybe that's how it's going to be.
Although he's done it. I feel like he should have been fine, but starting pitchers and closers are different animals. They have certain routines that they do, and they can't be messed with. And if you mess with their routine at all, it throws them all the way off.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe that's how it works. Maybe LMJ starts and then Spencer piggybacks on him. LMJ goes like 4 and then Spencer goes 5 and then gives the bullpen a break. I don't know. But
Good. They could do that.
But yeah, so LMJ threw 13 pitches in his one outing, did not do any of the up downs or anything like that. Apparently is going to stay in West Palm Beach to get into either a backfield game or some sort of minor league, something or another to get the up downs, even if it is literally like just sitting down for 3 minutes, 5 minutes, and then going back up and getting ramped up again. But apparently he felt good today, which is the most important thing. The day after, I think his fastball got up to 93. And don't quote me on this, but I don't understand how they had this stat, but they don't have any other stats, which is weird. Because there's no TrackMan, there's no StatCast in this fucking ballpark, which is the stupidest fucking thing in the world to me. But apparently his RPMs on his breaking stuff were the same before his surgery.
That's good.
I was like, that's awesome. But like, how did you figure that out? Anyhow, don't quote me on that. And I may have been a crack, but I feel like I saw that somewhere or heard it somewhere. And so I'm hoping that's an actual thing and that I didn't just dream this up. I do have a question for you though, because it goes with the whole we don't have StatCast and all of the fucking bullshit. Since we don't have the StatCast in our ballpark, we also have not been able to do any of the automatic balls and strikes, the ABS system, which is if a pitcher, hitter, catcher feels like whatever call the umpire has made is wrong, they can tap the top of their heads, challenge it. It goes into a replay, and if you're right, you get to keep your challenge. If you're wrong, you lose your challenge. You get 2 of them. The Astros have not literally done any of this. I think they've challenged 4 times, and a couple of those were actual minor leaguers that have been doing this literally since they've come up. And I think Yiner has done it once, and I think Ben Gamble has done it. Nobody else. And we haven't really had the chance to, because we've been playing most of our games in a ballpark that doesn't have it. And then when we do have it, we haven't been taking advantage of it, haven't been using the system. And now I'm wondering if it's going to put us behind the 8 ball. I guess not really this season, because apparently it's not coming to MLB this season. It doesn't sit right with me. Like the fact that most all of other teams have had it and we don't. I feel like it's put us behind the 8 ball.
I don't feel that way because it's not going to be implemented this season. I think if it was, then it would make more sense to like really try to work on it. But it's almost like, all right, I see that you're going to do this and that's cool. And talk to me when it's actually going to be implemented and then I'll work on it. A year from now, you're going to probably try it again. And then everybody will have the same opportunity to really hone that in. I feel like guys that are really good about the strike zone are going to be on it immediately. I don't think it's like something you have to practice or learn. I think it is going to be interesting though. So the team gets 2, right? The team gets 2 challenges.
Correct.
So you probably have to talk that through. Not everybody's just going to have free reign to go challenging pitches, because once you use it, you lose it. So
once you lose it, or once you use it and get it wrong, you lose it. If you use it and you're correct, you get to keep it.
Right. But that's the gamble, right? Like you have to be able to go without a shadow of a doubt. Hey, I know. And I think much like challenges in other sports, you tend to see them hold on to those things until the late stages of the game when it's more critical. Sometimes you'll see, like in football, you'll see a challenge come out early when it's just like really egregious, game-changing play. But in basketball, there's so many times where you got players over here begging for them to review it, and the coach is, nah, we're going to wait till the end of the game. We really need that, keep it in our back pocket. So I'll be interested to see what, if and when MLB implements this, how teams implement it within the team going, okay, Altuve, whenever you want to use it. Jordan, whenever you want to use it. Chaz, maybe don't use it. Something, I don't know.
Jake's drawn 11 fucking walks this spring. So I feel like he has.
You mean Chaz?
Yeah, that's what I said.
You said Jake?
For sure.
It's on wax.
I was thinking about Chaz. Anyhow, whatever. You all know what I mean. At no point in time will I ever say anything nice about Jake Myers. That's mean. I'm sorry, Jake. That's not nice. I'm very sorry. I just love Chaz. And I'm so sad. Anyhow. So Chaz is going to be on the bench.
I think they could start him. I think fans would be upset. I think Joe Espada would go, look, Cam is great, but
there's no way.
More time.
There's no way. If Cam Smith is on the opening day roster. If Cam Smith makes this club out of spring training, he is going to play the majority of the time. There's no way that he's not.
I'm saying this with the idea that they don't start him. He doesn't make the opening day roster.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah. I genuinely think we can hype the train all we want. And I think Joe Espada could go look, or Dana Brown could go look. We love what Cam is doing. We want him to get some more reps in right field. We think he could be a right fielder for us in a very short amount of time. And then June 1st, here he is, and then he's starting. You know what I mean? To preserve one more year of eligibility, because teams are like that. They did it with Bregman. They did it with Altuve, or they did it with Correa. I could see them do this with Cam Smith. And if they struggle, people will be going, what the fuck? You should have played Cam Smith. And if they don't, then they're going to be like, see, we told you we didn't need him.
Interesting. All right. We are going to wrap it up. Tom, do you have any last, I was about to say last words as if like we're dying. That's not word. Do you have any last news, notes, thoughts?
Where's everybody spending opening day at? Are you in front of your TV? Are you at the bar? Are you at the game? Where's everybody spending opening day at?
Considering opening day is like during the school week, I will be at home. I'll be on my couch enjoying a frosty beverage and watching it on my TV. Even if I liked people, I wouldn't be at a fucking bar. Are you kidding me?
I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about punching out early, maybe going downtown to Kobo's or something, because that's a really good spot.
That'll be fun. I do know, however, that I will be repping the Astros, obviously. And I'll be repping the Astros with a shirt that I got from Ram Shirts. I don't know if you guys can see this. If you are audio only, go to the YouTubes. You will see my beautiful H-Town throwback shirt from Ram Shirts. Shout out. We love them. Go get you one, and hashtag support small business. And they have all of the colorways. All the colorways. The navy and the orange, which I'm rocking. If you are of the group that like the brick red, they have a brick red option. And they also have the powder blue. What is that? The Love You Blue? What is that? Mm-hmm. The Oilers?
That is correct.
Okay. So they also have Oilers blue with the red H-Town. Do the Rockets? Is that Rockets stuff too or no?
What do you mean?
That colorway?
That blue? They did do a jersey. I think it was last year, the year before last, in that color.
For the Rockets?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know if it... I knew Texans had that sort of colorway represented or whatever, but I didn't know if the Rockets did. If you are not of just the baseball like I am, and you're like Tom and watches all the sports, does all the sports, you can get the shirts that, match all of the sports. Not me. I will just be over here with the navy and orange. That's all I do. And then Tom gets mad at me because I ask football questions and he's, what the fuck? Sorry, Tom.
I don't get mad.
I just want to know about the O-line. That's all I want to know about.
I just told her to tune into my podcast. Like she's about to tell you.
Listen, I don't want to know about all of the footballs. I don't want to know all about the footballs. I just want to know about the O-line. That's all I want to know.
We only talk Texans. We don't follow any other teams. It's just the Texans.
That's what I'm saying, though. But I don't want to know all about the Texans. I just want to know about the Texans O-line. Are they going to protect?
That'd be like saying I only want to know about a pitcher's curveball. I don't want to know about the other 4 pitches.
What if somebody is only interested in talking about LMJ?
You would say
they would not
say you're missing out. Hunter throws a nasty sinker. Let's talk about this sinker.
I don't care. I don't care. I just want to know about the O-line, Tom. That's all I want to know about was the O-line. I asked Tom about the O-line the other day, and he's, you can find all of this on the podcast. If you are, again, not of just the baseballs and you watch all the sports and you are interested in the Texans, Tom has a great podcast about the Texans. I don't listen to it because I don't like the football. It's not something that I'm interested in.
She secretly does. She just doesn't know how to express it.
I don't. I was listening to, what is the podcast called? The New Heights podcast, Travis Kelce, and oh my God, why am I blanking on his name? Travis Kelce's brother. Oh my fucking God. I'm imagining his face. Married
whole
to
beard.
Kylie Kelsey.
Yeah.
Jason, oh my fucking God. Jason Kelsey. My brain was going because I listened to Kylie Kelsey's podcast as well. And I really feel like if Kylie Kelsey ever met, we would immediately 1000% become best friends. And I don't say that lightly because I hate people, but I truly, really feel if Kylie Kelsey and I met in person, we would be immediate best friends. Anyhow, I was listening to Travis and Jason's podcast. They had Matthew Stafford on, who is the quarterback for the Rams. No. Yes?
Yes.
Is that the correct yellow and blue team?
Yes, it is.
Okay. And they were talking about something about some other like football player that had come over or whatever, and they started going off on like football terminology. Like I can't even. They were talking about besides the nickel and the slant, which apparently are fucking plays or something. They went off, and I was all, I don't like for 3 minutes. I was just sitting there with like my mouth open wide. I'm all, I don't what is happening. I don't understand any of the fucking words that are being said right now. They're words, but I don't know. It's literally it was literally the scene from when Mike woke me up and told me that Alex Bregman had walked it off in the 10th. It was like that, but like times a million because I was really trying to follow along and I couldn't. And it was just, I was like, nope, it's too much. It's too much. I'm not doing it. And then I thought about sending you the podcast and being like, Tom, explain this to me, but in like baseball terms.
Baseball terms.
And it was too much. It was way too much. And I was like,
which I am fantastic at, by the way. If you ever need something translated in different sport languages, I speak them all.
Okay, so then go listen to the Matthew Stafford podcast episode and tell me exactly what they're talking about I don't know.
You figure out what minute it is in the podcast. Okay. I'm not going to listen to the whole thing because they are not Texans.
Okay.
I know of them. I know of their podcast. I know of Travis and Jason, and they're great guys. But
the last few episodes have just been them interviewing guests, and they've just been talking to random celebrity, like actual celebrities and not athletes. And that's initially why I was like listening, because they were talking to Will Ferrell and Adam Sandler and who did I just listen to? Ben Stiller. I wasn't aware that Ben Stiller was a director. I didn't know that he was directing things like Severance. And I'm all, what? I just thought Ben Stiller was enjoying the high life off of his bajillions that he made from Zoolander.
Tropic Thunder.
I need to get out more and watch things, but I had no idea. So anyhow, tangent. I will go back and I will cut the part and be like, Tom, what? Because it was way too much, and I was like, I don't know what's happening. Anyhow, so Tom, tell the peoples where they can find you on the interwebs if they want translations or to tell you that you're dumb that you thought that Ronel Blanco was going to be the 2.
I'm not dumb. Ronel Blanco was a good pitcher. The fact that Suzy was just, I was offended for him. Like where she just made this face. Are you fucking kidding me? Ronel Blanco's got no business being the number 2. I was like, damn, Ronel, jeez. She's definitely not your number 1 fan right there.
If you go back and listen to past episodes last season, you would definitely have heard me say that Ronel Blanco was the ace of the staff. Just saying.
So how can the ace of the staff last year not be number 2?
Good because question. Hunter Brown said, hold my fucking beer, Ronel.
Hey, Hunter was human too. I like all of the pitchers on the Astros.
As do I. Anyhow, tell the peoples where they can find you, Tom.
On Twitter, at Third Coast Tom. It's where I do the most of my BSing. I'm also on Instagram at TCTom1 is where you can find me over there. If you are interested in Texans content, you can find The Bullpen is the name of the show on YouTube. You can find it on Instagram. Me and my co-host James Roy, who you can also find on Twitter, cover everything. There's a lot going on right now with free agency. The draft is coming up. And the Texans did a lot of work. They look really good. They restructured some contracts to make some more money.
How do they restructure the contract?
The audio people need to go watch this show. It was great.
How do they restructure the contract? Do they just say, hey, random player, we want to give you less money per year, but we'll like up the years? How do they restructure contracts? Because you don't fucking hear about this in baseball.
Yes, you do. It's called deferrals. It's the same
Okay,
thing.
but
They
that's
just get
not at the beginning of the contract.
so what they do is, for example, today they restructured Daniil Hunter's contract, edge rusher of Houston Texans. They put another year on his contract, and they then said, okay, we're going to pay you $12 more million this season, and then we're going to add another season for $22 million. But they can move around the cap hit. They can defer the money on the salary cap. So like baseball doesn't have a salary cap. You can spend all the money in the world. Football has a salary cap. So what they have to do is basically say, okay, we're going to pay you this much this year. We're going to pay you this much this year. We want the salary cap to hit where we don't have all the contracts. So they play with it. They move it around. And when they want to move salary cap around so that they can sign more players, they restructure contracts, and that changes the salary cap number and it allows them to spend more money. Because every year the salary cap goes up in the NFL. So they have more money to play with, and then they just kick the can down the road, so to speak. It's basically the deferral system in MLB, but it's more commonly used.
Okay, but obviously the players have to agree to restructure, right? So they couldn't go to. So they could. I guess the team could go to someone and be like, "Hey, we want to sign X player, but we need to restructure your contract," and then the player can be like, "Fuck you,
Yeah,
I don't want it."
But the incentive for the player is when they restructure the contract, half the time they just cut you a check for a chunk of your contract. They just go, okay, we're going to give you this on a signing bonus right here, right then. And then they move the remaining bit of that money, and that doesn't count against the cap.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. If you never watched football and had never figured out what the fucking restructuring of contract in football was, that was what that explanation was. If random things like that and wonder, there's your explanation, because I keep seeing it and I kept wondering and it needed to be asked. Anyhow, if you have not already liked and subscribed and rated and reviewed this show, please do on the YouTubes, on Apple, on Spotify, on whatever platform you are currently listening / watching us on. If you can leave the reviews and leave the ratings, that would be oh so great and grand, and I would love you forever and ever. Again, we are trying to get to 500 subscribers by the end of the year. We are almost done with March, guys, so we need to kick it up a notch, but that would also require me to, I don't know, record more than like once every 2 fucking weeks. Sorry, guys. Again, we will try and get back on a normal schedule once this season begins. I'm going to try and get some friends to record other episodes talking about the various divisions, and maybe, just maybe, we will have one big episode right before opening day to give predictions and, who's going to win the World Series. It's not going to be the Dodgers. Who's going to win the various divisions, all that fun stuff. So tune in, make sure that you are subscribed so that you won't miss any of that. And go find us on the socials and go, follow and do all of those fun things on the Twitter and the Instagram and Facebook. Am I on anything else? Oh, I think TikTok, but not really. So really just the first things that I said. And with that, we are going to say goodnight and goodbye. And yay, baseball! Yay! And record. Maybe? Yes.